Hi everybody and welcome back. Alright, in this video, we are going to change the player color that we set in our main script. So if you remember down the bottom here, we set this player color here and we want to change it from none to something that is represented in the game up here. So red, green, yellow, etc. So what we'll do is to do that, we're going to make use of our elevator. We're not making it work just yet, but we'll move our tile out of the way. We don't need it just at the moment. And we'll move our lift down closer to us. Now, you'll notice that at the moment, our lift is, I keep grabbing the wrong thing there. Our lift is all a grey type of colour. All right. Now, with programming, there's always more than one way to do things, and usually the easiest way to do something is not necessarily the best way to go about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the color of the lift, but we're going to do it through code. So over in the Explorer window where we have our lift model, I'd like you to right click on that and come up to Group as Model. All right, and we'll get this model here, and we want to change this to all lift models. Okay, so all lift models, and it's going to contain each lift that we have inside. Now, if you open up your lift model, you'll notice that we have our shaft and our slide part, which the slide part is the one we're going to use to change the player color. But we'll just change all these color parts here first. So let's come into our fun mod here, and we're going to create a new function up the top here. It's going to be function fun mod dot lift colors. All right, so at the beginning of the game, we're going to set the color of the lift, or however many lifts there are in the game, to one of the colors up the top there. So we'll create a local variable for all lift models, which will be workspace.allLiftModels, and we will put at the end of it get children, and that will give us a table of how many lifts there are inside of here. So currently we just have the one. So then we want to loop through each of those lifts inside. So we'll say for I equals 1, and we'll hashtag all lift models do. So as I said, there's only one inside at the moment. Now once we have this lift model, all right, then we want to look at all of the parts inside of here. So we'll create another variable, so local all parts, and that will be equal to our all lift models I. Okay, and then we will use get descendants. Now get descendants is like children, get children, except for the fact that if you said get children, then it would provide you with a list like this, so ramp, model, shaft and slide. When you get descendants, it provides a single list that includes this, all these parts and these. All right, and we want to look at just the parts that we want to change color. So once we've got all of the parts, we will now run another loop. So for j this time equals 1, and for each of all parts, right, do. Now if we'll create a conditional statement to see if it is a part. So if all parts j and then a colon is a, so make sure it's capital I and an A, and then a set of brackets inside a base part, right, then that's where we want to change its color. All right, now keep in mind we have a loop inside a loop. So when this happens, this will stay as 1 until J has completely run through all of its loops, and then it'll go back up the top and it'll start again. So 1 up the top here, we want to change all parts, all right, I, because it's just the first one. Sorry, that's not right. J, right, dot brick color will equal, and up the top here we have our game colors, and we will say I in here. So this will loop through each part, brick color, and it will change it to the first color up the top here. And we want this to run basically when the game loads, and then not again. So what we can do is just take a copy of the function and place it down just below here, and we'll give that a test. So click on File and Save, and we'll play. Alright, we got an error there. Okay, I see we actually just passed in a string up here. So what we really need to do here is say brickcolor.new, but then get it from game colors I. Okay, now some students I've had in the past seem to get upset about having errors left in videos. However, it's a crucial part of coding and learning how to find them and how to fix them. So when you get these errors, it's it's a good teaching opportunity. Alright, so I think that should fix up those errors. So let's click on File and Save, and let's play. And you can see now our lift has changed to the first color in our color table. Alright, so let's stop that there. So now that we have a red lift to work with, we'll just close these other scripts. We'll come into the slide part here of our lift, and we'll add a script to this, and we'll call this our well, we'll just call it the slide script at the moment. Okay, so now in this slide script, we're going to try to make this fairly generic. So what that means is that this same script is going to work regardless of what color we have. Now we probably need actually another function that we're going to add into our fun mod up here. It's not very long, so we can just add this one in. But this is to get the color for the player. So function funMod dot check color, and we're going to pass in the brick color. All right, so BC is brick color, and inside here we'll create a conditional statement where we'll turn the brick color to a string. All right, and if it equals really red, then we're going to return whatever called the function, okay, red. So we're simply returning the simplified version of the color, and we're going to do this a couple more times. So down the if we take a copy of all of this and then just drop down and type else and paste, and now we just need to change the next one, which will be bright green, and we're going to return green, and then we'll do the same thing again. So just drop down a line, type else and paste, and in this case we'll change this one to be new yellow and yellow, and we need one more. So if paste, sorry, that's not right, I'll undo that. Should be else, okay, really blue, then we will return blue. Okay, so that's how your check color function should look. So once we've got this in here, let's come back to our slide script, and we will, now that we're making use of our fun mod, we'll create a variable up the top for it. So fun mod equals require game.server-script-service.funModScript. And we'll create a variable here called slide color. And we're going to call that function that we just got just then. So in order for us to find out the tile color of the slide, we can create a variable, slide, which will be script.parent. And now we want to call this function up here, check color. So we can take a copy of that and back in the slide script, just paste it here and insert, instead of BC, slide.brickColor. And when it gets to this line, it's going to run this function. And remember, we made this particular one red, so it's going to return red to here. Okay? Right, we'll create a debounce variable to control our script. And then we can add in a touched event. So slide.touched, and we want to connect a function to it and the part that hits it. And now we don't need the character, so we can just say local player equals game.players get player from character and hit.parent. So this will only run if it is a player. And we can say if player and db, so if both of those are true, we will set db equal to false. And towards the end of the script, we'll say task.wait, and we might just make it a fairly quick sort of wait there. I'll just get rid of these other windows so you can see all the code clearly. Alright, so we're up to the touched part, and once we know that we have a player to work with, we'll grab their player variables folder. So local player vars will equal player, and then we will wait for trial for the player vars folder. And once it's loaded, we'll get the player color equals pvars dot player color. And now with our lifts, well, for the time being, actually, we'll just change the player color, and we'll come back to the other part of this script a little bit later. Right, but we do need a conditional statement. So what we'll do is we'll say if player color dot value, all right, equals, and we'll say none for now, because we know that it's none in our script. And we'll say, we'll put an extra condition here to say if player color dot value does not equal, so that squiggly line is a shift, and then the key to the left of your 1 means not. So if the player color is not equal to the slide color, so they're not the same color, then we can make a comment in here. Player, actually, we'll just, for now, forget about this first part here. I'll just try to keep this simple for this first exercise. So, so if the player color is not equal to the slide color, then the player does not have a game color yet. Alright, and all that's left to do really here at the moment, because we're just keeping this nice and simple, is we want to change the player color. So player color dot value will now equal the slide color, and we're going to change the transparency of the tile or the slide to show that the player has actually got the color. So we're going to say slide.transparency, and we'll set that to 0.6, so it'll become slightly translucent. And down the bottom here, I forgot to reset our DB back to true. Alright, so that is our simple version at the moment of our touch. So let's give that a try. I'll just turn on my output window, make sure there's no errors, click on File and Save, and we'll play. Alright, so I'm in the game, and to do this check, just open up your Explorer window under Players and your character, and player vars and your player color. And you also need your properties, and you'll see our value at the moment is none. So if I run now onto this part, you should see this goes transparent or slightly transparent, and this value down here changes to red. Alright, if you have managed to get that to work just as we have here, then we are good to go. So you can stop, and we'll increase our version so to 7, and we are good to go for the next video. So I shall see you there.